Aloha, friends on Facebook. Welcome to another episode of Feeling Better by Stretching Your Body Now. My name is Jonathan Sugai. I'm a bodywork and mindset science expert. I've been practicing massage for almost 20 years now. And I also have been involved in mindset and personal development as a student and as a coach for the last 10 years. And I'm broadcasting live from my office in Honolulu, Hawaii, the Alignment Center for Body and Mind. And so today in our daily live stream, which I broadcast daily, usually at 12:15, today is a little earlier. I do have a video call after this, so I needed to move it up a little earlier. But usually around 12 or 12:15, I go through 6 different stretches that I found in my massage practice that I use for myself and with my clients that are the best and most simple, practical, effective stretches to help keep your body more aligned, more centered, help release tension and stress. And these are simple stretches that I've had the opportunity to play with the last few years. And they really work, and they really make a difference for you. And I know it's making a difference for me as myself. So let's begin with the first stretch today. As I said, we're going to go through 6 stretches. And the first stretch is going to be for our feet. The second stretch will be for the quads, the front of our legs, which actually helps you with your lower back and your knees. The third stretch is going to be for the hamstring, back of the knee, and calves. The fourth stretch will be for our glutes. The fifth stretch will be for the tricep and our rotator cuff. So it really helps with the tension that builds up in our shoulders from typing and being in front of our video chats nowadays, since we're having to adapt to the situation. And the last stretch also helps lift the shoulders. It's another stretch for the shoulders. It's the shoulder scapula lift, and that really helps open up the shoulders. Now, I started developing these stretches a few years ago because I myself, as a massage therapist, was getting really tight, really tense in the neck, and just really not feeling great. And at the time, I was practicing with my family at Shiatsu Therapists of Hawaii, and I'm with a family of therapists, so I had the option of going to get massages from them, either from my dad, my sister, or my mom. But then I thought, okay, well, how about we try stretching? The idea popped in my head, my clients had been bugging me for years on, do I have any stretches for them? One in particular, her name is Lori. She said, hey, do you have any stretches? And I said, no. And at the time, I gave her a really snarky answer, said, well, in your situation, she had back pain. The stretch for you is you need to go ask for help from your family, because she was trying to do everything herself. So she goes, ooh, touche. However, shortly after that, I myself was feeling tense and tight and started to explore stretching. And so these are the stretches that I put together and had the opportunity to test. I am, because of the stay-at-home mandate, I'm feeling really honored and privileged to be able to share it with you, and also give myself a chance to share this online and get more comfortable in front of the camera as well. Now, the first stretch we're going to begin with today is for the feet. But before we begin, I just want to acknowledge the few people that have showed up. Hi, Linda. Hi, Helen. Hi, Mr. Bowers. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Nope. And we got another one. Hi, Lynn. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so the first stretch is going to be for our feet, and I call this the plantar fascia foot stretch, and we use a tennis ball. Now, this originally, I used this as a demo, and I was demonstrating the connection between the fascia in the foot and the rest of the body. And if we look at this little chart here, when I was teaching massage at the University of Hawaii Medical School, I was teaching about the connective tissue in the body, fascia, and how it's connected throughout the body. And I would use a tennis ball to massage my foot. And it would actually loosen up not just my foot, but other parts of my body. So like the back of my calf, the back of my hamstring, right through the back. It would make a noticeable difference in the length of my shoulder. So everything would loosen up and the arm length would actually change. So let me demonstrate that for you. But it's also our stretch as well. So if this is your first time, please get a tennis ball. And hopefully you got one around the house. I recommend a tennis ball because it has a nice give to it. And compared to like a golf ball is too hard. So you could, if you don't have a tennis ball, you could use a racket ball or a ping pong ball, but something semi-soft. A tennis ball is just the right amount of firmness, and it also has the right amount of give. Okay, so the demonstration and the stretch. First, you want to reach down to your toes and just see what your flexibility is like. Okay, so for me, I can reach my toes, not quite palm the floor. As I'm reaching down, it's tight, so make a notice of where you feel your tightness in the back of your legs and your back and other parts of your body. And we're going to do the stretch by stepping on the ball and rolling back and forth from the front of our foot to the back of the foot. So from the ball of the foot to the back. And for those of you with Apple Watches, if you want to count this towards your exercise rings, there is the workout app on the watch, and there's a preset for yoga. And you can actually turn that on, and you can count these stretches towards your exercise rings if you like to fill in your rings. So, all right. So we're going to do this stretch for 1 minute. Let's begin. Okay, so you're going to step on the ball, and you're going to roll back and forth. And again, you're going to feel the trigger points come up. And again, if this is your first time, there's going to be probably quite a few, and they're probably going to be pretty intense, and that's okay. But you want to make sure you put your weight into it and really step on it and roll back and forth. And again, this brings up the tension and the stresses that are stuck in the nervous system. These are actually where you have sensory imbalances in the sensory nerves, in your skin and in your fascia, in your foot. Again, this is from all the, thousands of steps we've taken and the thousands of miles we've walked. And our feet do it tirelessly until they start complaining in the form of pain like plantar fasciitis. So this is an opportunity to show some self-care, some love for your feet. Okay, so you roll back and forth. And while you're doing this, remember to breathe. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Okay? All right. So we finished the 1 minute. Now you can see the difference it makes. Okay, so just by doing that, it loosened up the left side of my body through that superficial back line. And you can see my left arm is longer than my right because everything has loosened up. Okay, so now let's do the other side. Okay, reset my clock, 1 minute. Okay, you're gonna step on it, roll forward, roll backwards. Roll forward and roll backwards. Okay, and again, you're going to feel the trigger points come up. It's going to probably be pretty intense. And again, you want to breathe through it. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And you want to feel the ball squeeze on your foot. Really put your weight into it. And you go back and forth. Back and forth. Okay, we're doing this for 1 minute. A few more seconds until our minute is up. All right. Okay. So that's the end of our first minute, or second minute. Okay, let me reach down to our toes. Okay, so you can see my arms are now even. Okay, because the right side's now loosened up. And then actually now it's easier for me to palm the floor. Okay, so even if your arms don't change, make a note of the difference in the amount of tension you feel. There should be a noticeable difference. You may notice it's a little easier. And again, the more you do this, the more you're going to open up. All these stretches that I'm going to be going over, I recommend you do them at least once per day. If you can do them twice per day, that's even better. And then, of course, the most ideal would be if you can do it up to 3 times a day. So for me, I've been doing them about twice a day. So definitely on these daily live streams. So this is actually helping me to hold myself accountable. And then I'll make an effort to do it sometime in the evening at home. Okay, so that's the first stretch. We're going to move on to the second stretch, which is for our quads. Okay, so the quads are really important. They're important for our knees and they're important for our lower back. Now, in my massage practice, one of the most common problems that I would see is lower back pain. And the most common complaint when a client had lower back pain was they had trouble moving around, doing basic things like walking, getting out of bed, getting into bed, standing up, sitting down, going up and down stairs. And, they said, okay, well, the back is the problem. I threw my back out. And so, but what I discovered in over 20 years of, almost 20 years of working with lower backs, although the back was where the symptom was, I discovered it wasn't the cause. The back pain was actually having a lot to do with the legs, and in particular the quads. Because when I would check the lower back, and I would check the quads and other parts of the legs, the quads would definitely stand out as the most painful spot when I would apply, do some shiatsu. It would hurt so much that they would want to jump off the table. It felt like, instead of me using my thumbs felt like ice picks to them. And so before I started to do these stretches a few years ago, we'd have to massage, and it'd be, really painful and really uncomfortable for me and my clients. But, it would work, we had to do whatever it took to get them well. But then when I started to do these stretches, I realized, hey, let's try stretching it first. So I'd find the trigger points, it'd be really intense, and then I'd do the stretch and then work on it again, and lo and behold, pain would drop by about 50%. And then clients would be like, wow, are you pressing with the same amount of pressure? And so quickly discovered that stretching really relieves trigger points. So for those of you who practice foam rolling, you do self-massage, some of these stretches would be great to do before you actually do your manual work on yourself. So you'll find if you do both, you'll get even better results. All right, so let's try out the quad stretch, okay? Now, it looks like this, okay? You've probably all done this. In fact, actually on my way to work this morning, I saw a whole bunch of construction guys standing around in a circle doing it this way. This is one way you can do it. But I found a more effective way of doing it, the way I prefer to do it, is to actually lay on our side. So we're going to use a couch. Okay, we're going to lay on our side like this. And we're going to take advantage of the back of the couch. So instead of holding it with our arm, we use the couch to hold it for us. And that frees up our arm. And then we're not standing and straining the other leg and having to balance or hold on to something. We can actually just, chill out here. And then we can really focus in on the stretch. Okay, so if you got a couch, you want to lay on your side, use the backing of the couch, and then I'm going to also show you how to do it against the wall. Okay, we'll drop this back down. Okay, so you pull your leg back. Okay, you're going to feel the stretch, and again, if this is your first time, it's going to be pretty intense, and it's going to be a long first minute. So let's begin. All right, so you're pulling your leg back, and then you also want to kind of lean into it. And again, you want the pain to be around about a 7 out of 10. Okay, if it's going too much, back off. If you're not feeling it, you got to push a little harder into it. You do need to feel something because we're bringing up that old stress, old tension, and through breathing. So while you're doing this, you're going to be breathing. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Just the act of breathing while feeling this allows your brain, your nervous system, your soft tissues and muscles to start to regulate. We're actually rebalancing, recalibrating your sensory nerves. By recalibrating and balancing the sensory nerves, you can handle the pressure. And that's what my clients were discovering. Me and my clients, after we stretched, it went from feeling like an ice pick to feeling like pressure. They could handle the pressure. And their function would improve. Their back would improve. Their knee would feel better. Okay? And all because they weren't stretching and allowing the tension to build up. And when there's a lot of tension, your legs don't work very well. And so your body has to compensate. Okay, so that's one side. Okay, make a note and see how your leg feels. Probably going to feel a little lighter. Okay, now let's do the other side, and I'm going to show you how to do it against the wall. So we'll drop this down. Okay, going to do the right leg. And imagine this for your bed, or if you're on the floor, so any wall will do. And just make sure you're comfortable on the side. And again, you pull your leg back. And for those of you who, again, if this is your first time, you're just starting after years of not stretching, you may not be very flexible. And that's okay. You got to start somewhere. So give yourself some distance. If you're not able, some clients, they're closer to like 90 degrees. That's fine. Just kind of get it back as far as you can. And you want to stay around a 7 out of 10. And so you can give yourself extra room. And if you're flexible, really make sure you feel it, okay? You gotta feel something. So then if you're more flexible, get closer to the wall. Okay, so let's begin. 1 minute. And then the other thing, if you're more advanced and you want to take it up a notch, you can stretch with your arm on the same side. As you reach up, it's going to provide extra stretch going this way as you're stretching that way. So you can stretch and breathe. And we're actually stretching at both ends through the fascia. Again, you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Surrender to the pain, allow yourself to feel it. Again, we're surfacing old tension and stress from all the sitting or all the standing. It also helps you to deal with some of the fears and anxieties that are coming up because again, we're in a situation of great change and transformation. So the wisest thing we can do is take care of ourselves. Okay? Manage our own stress, manage our own perceptions. That helps us make better decisions and actions. Okay, so that's the right side for the quad stretch, lying on our sides. Again, this helps reset the leg, and you'll notice your back will improve. One of the other complaints is not being able to bend over easily. And again, your legs need to be working well, and especially your quads. If they're not working well, your back is actually going to stiffen in response to that. So back pain, stiffness in the back, it's actually a feature, not a bug. It's a byproduct of overstressed legs, and it's a byproduct of not stretching, not taking care of your legs. So something great you can do for your legs at least once per day. All right, so that's our second stretch out of 6 today. We're going to move on to our third stretch. And our third stretch will take care of the back of our legs, the hamstring, back of the knee, and the calves. Okay, now we're going to go over to the wall. And before we do our stretch, let me say hello to the individuals who've tuned in. So hello Elizabeth, hello Miles, hello Evan, hello Jim. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so we're going to move on to our third stretch. And for those of you who are still watching, drop a note and say hello and where you're tuning in from. Love to see where you all are tuning in from. Okay, so now we're going to do the hamstring, back of the knee, and calf stretch. And there's 2 ways of doing it. We're going to be using this wall, and we're going to be stretching against the wall, but we do need to protect our feet. So if you have carpet, you're okay. You can do it barefooted. If you have floor, you want to protect your heel. So a rubber slipper, this is one of the methods. So I'll show that, and then I'll demonstrate with shoes. Okay, so you're going to put your foot up against the wall, dorsiflexed. Okay, you're going to have a nice wide and deep stance. Okay, and then I'm stretching the left leg first. So you're going to lock your left knee. You're going to lean forward towards the door. You want to make sure you have a nice wide stance with the right leg and go far enough back where you can really lean forward. This right knee is going to be slightly bent, and I'm on the ball of my foot, so you can see how I'm kind of like leaning forward. And as I lean forward with the leg locked, you're going to feel the stretch right through the back of the leg, through the hamstring, back of the knee, and the calves. Okay, so we're leaning forward, and you're going to put your arms up above your head, push and lean in. And so that allows you to really lean in. And then also with the arms above your head, it's actually providing a stretch for your shoulders. Okay, this is so easy, a little kid could do it. So Evan, if you would you mind, I don't know if you want to post that picture of your son, which I thought was really cute. That was really cool. Okay, so you want to push and lean in, and we're going to do this for 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, you're going to feel the tension in your calf, back of the knee, hamstring. You want to breathe into it and breathe out of it. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Okay, and then also notice the tension in your arms and your shoulders as you're pushing in and leaning in. This is actually creating some lift, stretching your arms and stretching your shoulders. But we also have a dedicated stretch for that coming up at the end. But you might as well get in a little stretch for the upper body as well. And you breathe in and breathe out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Okay, that's 1 minute. We're going to ease out of that. Okay, and again, because it stretches, we're stretching right through this back line, we should notice a difference in my arm length. Yep. Okay, so again, it lengthened my arm even further. Okay, it's much easier for me to palm the floor. All right, so now let's switch over to the other wall. And then we're going to do it with shoes on, and you get to see it from a slightly different angle. Okay, we're going to do the right leg. Okay, put the right foot up against the wall, lock the knee. Okay, make sure your hips are squared towards the wall. Make sure you have a nice wide, deep stance. Watch out for being too narrow stance. You're going to be unstable. You want to have a nice wide stance. Okay, it's like having a wide open mind versus a narrow mind. Narrow minds are unstable. Wide open stance, more stability, more adaptability. And again, with all the changes that are occurring, we have to open our mind up to new possibilities. You know, some things aren't going to work anymore. You have to let go of that. Okay, so this will help you in that process. Again, if you take care of your body, your mind works better. Okay, so you're going to push and lean in, lean towards the wall. Okay, and we're going to keep the knee locked, left knee slightly bent on the ball of the foot. Put your hands up above your head, push and lean in. And you're going to feel the tension release through the calf, back of the knee, and the hamstring. And as you push and lean in towards the wall with your arms above your head, you feel the arms and shoulders stretch as well. Okay, and again, deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And then you can kind of flap your wings. So you can see I'm moving my shoulder blades. I'm also moving my neck around. It's kind of like I'm giving myself a nice shoulder massage, neck massage. At the same time, I'm improving my flexibility, unloading the tension in my leg. Watching movies at night, my wife. Okay. So that took care of the right leg. Now let's check on our flexibility again. Okay, yeah, arms are even. Okay, yeah, easily palm the floor. Again, you see that we increased flexibility. And again, if it's your first time, you know, you're going to start wherever you start, but if you keep doing it daily, you're going to notice incremental gains. And again, the consistency doing it daily. And then if you want to actually increase your results a little faster, you know, multiple times a day, so at least twice a day, you'll notice the differences start to add up. In a couple of days, probably by tomorrow or Friday, I'll post a picture of my posture changing over time, because I took some pictures a few weeks ago, and I'm going to take my pictures of my posture again, and we'll see what the changes are, since I've been doing it a lot more consistently, especially these last 2 weeks, thanks to the coronavirus situation. Okay, so that was our third stretch. We're going to go back to the couch. We're going to move on to the fourth stretch, and then I want to take some time to say hello to Kurt, Christina, Ravi, Lonnie, thank you for joining. Okay. Make sure there we go. All right. So our fourth stretch for today is going to take care of our glutes and piriformis. Okay. So we've probably been doing a bit more sitting than usual, with all the video chats and also Netflixing or Amazoning or Apple TV. Okay. And so a lot of tension can build up from sitting, but it also can build up from standing. So there's two ways of doing this one, so I'll show you both methods. The first way to do the piriformis glute stretch is by sitting. Okay, so you actually, while you're sitting, you can actually release some tension from your butt. And this one's the most simple way of doing it. You just cross your leg. We've all done that. But the stretch occurs when you lean forward and you lean in. Okay, I'm going to reset my clock for 1 minute. You lean forward and lean in. Now, what's neat about this one is you can tell the balance of your hips. So in the earlier broadcasts, I was noticing my left hip was a lot more restricted. It's been improving because I've been doing these stretches daily. But I'm also I'm a practitioner of the mind-body connection. So in the mind-body connection, the hip and the butt are where we store our pains in the butt, our perceived emotional pains in the butt. The hips also have to do with direction too. So I was making a note of that, and actually I do other healing work. I do a lot of mindset modality called the DeMartini method, and I work with a couple of fellow facilitators, Curtis, Shelby, Donna. And so I actually got to look at what emotions I was still holding on to in my left hip, and it was occurring in moments of stress in the past. So I got to look at the bike accident, I got to look at baseball, trying out for baseball, a couple of DUIs that I had in my 20s, breakups, stuff with my mom, stuff with ex. So the left side of the body is the feminine side. So I was noticing a lot more stuff on my left side. So I'm noticing actually my hip is a lot better. It's actually much easier. There's still some pain, there's still some stuff, so I'm going to continue chipping away. But definitely much improved over the broadcast. So, all right, so that's the left side. Now the right side's our masculine side. So if you got any aches and pains on the right side, it could be challenges with any males, or anything to do with the masculine, which is about, masculine energy is about fire, it's about expansion, it's about going, whereas the feminine is about slowing down, being like water, flowing with, being more passive. So let's do the right side. And actually, we'll do it this way first, and then I'll show the other way. Okay, so you cross your leg and you lean forward. Okay, and while you're leaning forward, you want to take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Okay, so now I'm noticing the left and the right hip are much more even. Much more even. There's still a bit more pain on the left side, so again, I still have more work to do. But definitely much more even. Because actually, I was definitely feeling a whole lot more restricted last week. So, okay, deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And you're leaning forward, and you're going to feel the stretch in the hip. You might feel some shooting pain down the leg, and that's normal. Okay. Lean up, come out of it. Okay. So that's doing it sitting. Now let me show you laying on your back. Okay, so the other way you could do it is you lie on your back, cross your leg, and you're going to pull with your legs and pull with your arms. Okay? Pull with your legs, pull with your arms. You're going to feel it right over here. Okay? So you can try both ways, see which one you like better. And again, I was noticing, I was feeling restricted while sitting, but that's improved. Combination of the stretching and doing the emotional clearing work that I've been doing, mindset work. And then lying on my back, I actually, feel more range. So this one's actually feeling pretty good. Let's check out the other side. Okay, I'm gonna cross our leg, pull towards us. Yeah. So if I'm lying on my back and pulling towards us, this side feels pretty good. Left side feels a little bit more painful. So again, like I said earlier, I got some more stuff to look at, which I have my appointment right after this, which is why I'm doing this a little earlier. So I'm honoring the time for that. Okay, so that's the piriformis and glute stretch. All right, let me say hello. Hi, Robbie. Oh, yes, please watch the replay. Hi, Lara. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the fifth stretch for today. And we've finished off with the lower body, and now we're going to move to the upper body. And we're going to start to do some work on the shoulders. So we've got 2 stretches for the shoulders. The first stretch we're going to do is what I call the tricep shoulder stretch. And this catches right over here. We're going to go stretch through the tricep and really catch the trigger points and all the stress and tension that really stores right over here. And again, this is another very popular area where a lot of tension shows up, and this is an area I massage frequently with my shiatsu in our massage practice. And for years, I didn't really have a stretch for that. I just, we both, client and I would just, breathe, do a lot of breathing, which it would help. But I discovered that this stretch really brings down the intensity quickly, and again, empowers the client to be able to do something on their own. So it looks like a tricep stretch, which you probably have done at some point. You bend your elbow, pull the opposite side. You want to make sure you have a nice wide deep stance, and you're going to lean in the opposite direction. So if you're doing your right side, you're going to lean to your left. If you start off with the left, you're going to lean to your right. Okay, so we're leaning and pulling, okay, and you're going to feel the tension in the arm and in the shoulder. Okay, so lean it, pull and lean. And again, you're going to feel some pain, some tension. And we are going to be squeezing on some of the nerves that run down your arm into your hands. So you might feel some tingling, some shooting pain, and that's okay, that's normal. Again, that's just the stress that's present in your nervous system, present in your soft tissues. And again, we're balancing it out. We're recalibrating your senses. Okay, so breathe deeply in and deeply out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And again, in the earlier broadcast, I was noting a lot more pain, a lot more tingling on the left side. It's significantly better. Again, combination of the stretches and combination of my mindset, emotional work I've been doing. Okay. You want to ease out of that. It's going to feel a little achy, especially if it's your first time. And then you can shake it off. Okay. Now we're going to do the right side. Okay, so nice wide stance, bend your elbow, pull in the opposite direction. We're going to lean, and let me reset my clock. Okay, pull and lean, pull and lean. Okay, and while you're leaning, remember to breathe. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. And again, you may feel some tingling. You might feel some shooting pain. In earlier broadcasts, I was feeling a lot more. Now it's actually much calmer. Yeah, significantly improved. Combination of my stretching and combination of looking at some of the emotions that I was storing in my subconscious and getting the opportunity to equilibrate it, break through it with the DeMartini method with my fellow coaching facilitator colleagues. So that's pretty cool. So pretty soon I'll take a picture of my posture and we'll see how my posture looks after doing combination of the stretches and the body work, stretches and the mind work, doing both. I'm really curious to see what the differences are. Okay, so that's 1 minute, and that took care of our right shoulder. Now we're going to move on to our last stretch for today. I'm going to go back over to the wall, and we're going to do the last stretch, which is the shoulder scapula lift stretch. And I'll say hello to Rick. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming back. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use a wall or the door. You're going to put your hands up against the wall, about eye height, face height. Push and lean in. You're going to take a couple of steps back. And again, you're anchoring your hands in and allowing your body to drop down, which stretches the arms and stretches the shoulders. And it's going to create lift. It's going to lift your arms and lift your shoulders. And what this does is it pulls the arms and shoulders up, and it's actually going to free up space between the scapula and the rib cage. Okay, we're going to actually catch the inside of the shoulder blade, underneath the shoulder blade, free up a lot of the stress and tension that builds up in the subscapularis and the fascia underneath. Okay, and it has a nice lifting effect. It opens up the chest. So let me reset my clock. And let's begin. Push and lean in. Again, while you're doing this, you want to make sure you surrender to the tension, surrender to the pain. Feel your arms stretch. Feel your shoulders open up. Breathe into the tension, breathe into the pain. Surrender to it. Feel it release. Find the pleasure in the pain. It's there if you look. What is the benefit? What is the pleasure in it? And you can move your head around. You can move your arms around. Okay. All right, and you go ahead and ease out of it. Okay, and then for those of you watching on the replay, or live, you can also, let me show you from a different angle. Okay, again, you put your hands up on the wall, push and lean in, and again, you let your body fall forward, and you're hanging onto the wall with your hands and allowing it to anchor in, and it acts as if the wall is pulling your arms and your shoulders upwards as you let your body open up downwards. Okay, and what it does is it helps to open up the chest. So you should feel a nice lifting and opening. It helps reverse this hunching from working at our laptops and having to do more video chat calls in order to get our work done, or sitting in front of the TV watching, or for those of you who are choosing to take the advantage to go study something. Helps to undo some of that. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the beginning, back to the couch, and I'll say hello to Wilma. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so for those of you tuned in late, I do a quick summary of what we went over earlier in the broadcast. Actually, let me center that. So again, we did 6 stretches in total today, and the first stretch we did for today was our feet. Okay, and we use this tennis ball, and this is the plantar fascia foot stretch with the tennis ball. You step on the tennis ball, you go back and forth for 1 minute, so you really put your weight in, and you massage your foot back and forth. We do this for 1 minute per side. Do 1 minute per side. Okay, back and forth. And again, the tennis ball is the ideal one because it has the right enough amount of firmness, but it also gives. And so I'd like to thank my clients that play tennis. They gave me their old worn out tennis balls, so opportunity to recycle. So if you got any play tennis or you got friends that play tennis, ask them for their old tennis balls. They're still useful. Okay, so that's the first stretch. Works on our feet, and that takes up 2 minutes of your time. Okay, the next stretch is for the quads, and again, the quads help the lower back and the knees. Again, if your quads are all tight, the joints above and below start to tighten up, and there's going to be some pain. So again, this is what I discovered was a major point of pain and a major part that became dysfunctional from lack of stretching. Okay, and again, the stretch looks like this, but we're going to do it on our side. Okay, and what you want to do is use the wall or the back of the couch. Okay, you lay on your side, pull the leg back. Okay, and you use the wall or the back of the couch to hold your legs, so you're not straining your arm, and then because we're on our side, we're not straining the other leg. And then you can reach up to add an additional stretch. Okay, let's switch sides. You do that for 1 minute. Again, lay on your side, pull the leg back. Okay, you're going to feel the tension, and again, if it's your first time, it's going to be a pretty intense first minute, a long first minute, but it gets better. Every time you do it, you get a little better. Just like I'm doing these broadcasts, I'm mastering it through repetition. Okay, and you do that for a minute. Okay, so that's the second stretch, and 2 minutes per side, so we're up to 4 minutes for the 2 stretches so far. Move on to the third stretch, and go back to the wall, and we're stretching our hamstring and calves, and I'll show you the 2 different angles and the 2 different methods. So if you have carpet, you don't have to worry about your heel, because we're going to put our leg up against the wall. If you have hard floor and need to protect your heel, you can use a slipper. Put your foot on the slipper, foot up against the door, have a nice wide deep stance. Left knee is locked. Bend your knee, lean forward. Okay, put your hands up like that. Push and lean in. Okay, so it looks like this. Go watch the replay and get the finer details. That's what it looks like. Okay, and then the other way of doing it, you got your protect your feet. Okay, so if you got shoes, again, put your foot up against the wall, knee locked, nice square hips. Have nice wide deep stance. Okay, push and lean in. Okay, this is what it looks like from this angle. Okay, you're going to feel the stretch right through the back of the leg with the knee locked. You also feel the stretch up in the shoulders. Okay, you're going to feel a nice pull and lift on the shoulders. Okay, so that's the hamstring and shoulder stretch. All right, that was our third stretch, 2 minutes each. We're up to 6 minutes. Okay, I just want to say hello to Darren, Maka, Shelly, and Curtis. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so now we're going to go back to the couch. And our fourth stretch, the last stretch for the lower body, is for the glutes. So this really helps with the glutes and the piriformis. And again, a lot of tension builds up from sitting and or standing. And there's 2 ways of doing it. Here's the sitting version. So if you're already sitting, you might as well do something good for your hips and your glutes. You cross your legs. We've all done that before. And you lean forward. As you lean forward, you're going to feel a stretch. So on the left side, you're going to cross your left leg. You're going to feel it on the left side. Okay? You do that for 1 minute. Again, cross your legs for the right side. Cross your right leg. Lean forward. Okay? You feel it on the right. So that's doing it sitting. So if you want to do the other method, you lay on your back. You lie on your back, cross your leg. Pull your legs towards you. Pull with your arms. And you're going to feel it right in here. Okay? Let me show you what it looks like from the other side. And cross your legs, pull your legs, pull with your arms. You're going to feel it right over there. Okay? All right, so that's our fourth stretch. Another 2 minutes of your time. We're up to 8 minutes now. All right, that completes our lower body stretches. Now let's move on to the upper body. So we're going to do 2 stretches for the shoulders. Okay, the first is the tricep shoulder stretch, which stretches the back of the arm and catches the rotator cuff area, which is again where a lot of tension builds up. Bend your elbow, pull the opposite side. So we're doing the right side, and we're going to lean to the left. Okay, and you're going to feel the stretch right through here. And you even feel it go down the side of your body. Okay. Then we're going to do the right side. Okay, bend the elbow, pull and lean, and we're going to lean to the left. Okay. Again, you'll feel a stretch right through there. Okay, so that's the tricep shoulder stretch. And the last stretch for today is our shoulder scapula lift. Hey, Mai, thank you for tuning in. All right. So for the shoulder scapula lift, it helps open up the shoulders. It's the reverse of doing this. Okay. I'm going to push and lean into the wall. And for those of you who do yoga, kind of looks like downward dog against the wall. Push and lean in. Anchoring against the wall pulls the shoulders and arms upwards while your torso goes downwards. Helps lift, and it opens up all the tension in here. Okay? This is what it looks like from this angle. Push and lean it. Push and lean it. And remember to breathe. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Okay. And again, you do that for at least a minute. Now, 1 minute is the sweet spot, so all 6 stretches, if you do them for 1 minute per side, it adds up to about 11 minutes of your time. So, pretty good time investment. You get a lot of bang for your buck. Now, you are welcome to do it for 90 seconds, 2 minutes, so if there's a particular area of your body you feel like needs more love, put in more time. You're welcome to do that, but at least 1 minute. All right, so those are the 6 stretches that I've been sharing daily on this Facebook live stream. I usually broadcast around 12:15 Hawaii, 3:15 Pacific, 6:15 Eastern. But today I decided to do it a little early because I have an appointment at my 1 o'clock. So I want to do it a little early. And hey, this is the internet. You can always watch the replay. So I want to thank those of you who have been tuning in live daily for watching. And for those who are on the replay, thank you for watching. If you want to see when I go live, please turn on notifications. It either shows up in the chat or there's the button on the post itself. There's a little 3-button menu to turn on live notifications. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the chat. If you have any specific questions you want to ask me directly, feel free to message me about any of the stretches. I have been talking a bit about my own mind-body symptoms. So if you got any mind-body questions about any particular part of your body or any of the disease symptoms, try me. I've been one of my favorites and one of my specialties in my body work and my mindset work as well. But in the meantime, make sure you're getting your rest. So please get your sleep. 6 to 8 hours of sleep really helps the immune system. Anytime I've neglected on my sleep, I've run down my immune system. I've been vulnerable to colds and cold symptoms. So make sure you're getting your rest. Because the more you sleep, the more immune you are. Even if you catch the virus, your symptoms will be milder, or you might be asymptomatic. So the people who have been coming down with more acute symptoms are the ones that haven't been taking care of themselves. And one of the areas that they haven't been doing is they've been neglecting on their sleep. They have a sleep debt with, and interest is due. The bill is due with interest. Make sure you're drinking water. 3 to 4 liters of water I recommend a day, daily. And watch the amount of sugars in your water. If you take in too much sugars, it starts to run down your immune system. Again, affects your immunity. So lots of water. Make sure you're eating moderately. Again, you want to eat a diet that's moderate in amount but high in nutrition. So whatever eating style you're practicing, make sure you're eating moderately. And again, listen to your body. Your body will, if you're practicing a particular eating style, you're not feeling great about it, again, listen to your body. Make some adjustments. There's many different styles out there. Again, it's a very personal choice. Listen to the feedback of your body. Fourth thing is make sure you are living by priority. Make sure you're focusing on what priorities are. A lot of things have changed. A lot of the priorities have changed. Really take the time, since we're being given the gift of time, to figure out what are your priorities. What do you really want in life? Some people are going to lose their jobs, but you know what? If they ask, okay, what were the drawbacks of that job? they'll find that, yeah, you know what, there's a lot of problems with it. And you know what, losing their job sets them free to find a new one. For many, it's going to be an opportunity to start a business, to get into entrepreneurship, to do something that they truly love instead of subordinating to a business and subordinating to their bosses, or, you know, and doing something that they really weren't enjoying. So there's going to be a lot of interesting new businesses and new business opportunities that come out of a lot of the chaos that's occurring. You know, this is a time for transformation. And one of the best ways that I know of to focus on priority is to actually know what your values are. What are your highest values? Because they actually, your priorities, what's most important to you is your values. And so if you don't know what your values are, please go find out. And I recommend you go check out Dr. John DeMartini and check out his website, drdemartini.com, and look for his values determination process. It's free. Go learn about your values. It's one of the best things I did over 10 years ago when I was going through my crisis during the last crisis. And then I've had a bunch of mini crises along the way. And again, knowing my values and then all the work around that helped me overcome, master my life, master my destiny, get empowered again, and move on and move forward. So again, it starts with knowing what your values are. Go check it out at drdemartini.com. I'll put a note in the chat for the link, but you can also go look it up. And then lastly, remember to count your blessings. Another lesson I learned from Dr. DeMartini is to really take the time to count your blessings. You know, find out what you're grateful for. How is, you know, whatever's happening, and you know, there's a lot happening right now. You might have to identify specifically what the challenges are, what the pains are. How is it serving you? How is it benefiting you? What's the opportunity in this? So for me personally, like, you know, I had to suspend my massage practice to comply with the mandate and to help, help everybody slow the spread of the virus. I've taken the opportunity to do this presentation and, you know, get comfortable, get more confident in presenting these stretches online. You know, I'm really getting to see, you know, what the impact of these stretches are, not to just my clients, but to people like you tuning in. And then I'm also starting to talk more about the mindset work. I've been doing a lot of mindset work in the last 10 years, so that's slowly starting to come out. So, you know, expect there's going to be more. Mastering our mind, mastering our perceptions, knowing what our values are, that's the source of empowerment. And actually, you can actually master your life and overcome your fears by asking quality questions. And so my mentor, Dr. DeMartini, was a great source of learning the quality questions. And I've had plenty of opportunity to keep asking and answering those questions to help me be more centered, more aligned, more confident, more appreciative, and more empowered. And it also, all this stuff, if you're mastering your perceptions, mastering your mind, mastering your emotions, it helps with immunity. So me, I'm not afraid of the virus. I'm actually, you know, the virus is a necessary function of humanity. It's a necessary function of nature, I learned. And so I'm also, you know, doing work to be able to adapt and see what the opportunities are. So these are some of the possibilities for you to, again, take advantage of this situation. Take care of yourself, you know, physically, emotionally, mentally. Do the best you can. If you have any questions, need any help, please reach out. And I'd love to be of service in other ways. But right now I'm just doing these stretches to be able to serve you with some simple things, to be able to, again, take care of yourself. And there's going to be more to come. So stay tuned. All right? So thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate you turning in live or on the replay. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and in future days. And I'll continue to share. And I look forward to what you come up with and what opportunities you create out of this challenge. Because again, this challenge is setting us up for the next 10 years. So if you take advantage of the situation, we're entering a brave new world. And there's plenty of opportunity if you know how to look for it. So start asking those quality questions, know what your values are, and we'll get through this together, okay? And if you need any help, please reach out. All right? So thank you. I love you. Aloha, and I'll see you later.